I think we need to talk about the trailer that debuted over the weekend at D23. A lot of big things came out for Disney at D23. They announced a lot of different movies. They announced a lot of different changes to their theme parks. I think one interesting fact is it literally did not move the needle on the stock at all in any way, shape, or form. I think they were hoping to generate a lot of excitement. I think they generated some. I don't know if it's enough. However, one of the things they did debut was the first official look at Rachel Zegler's Snow White.
Whew.
And let's just say, kind of getting hammered right now. And this thing has been full of controversy, from Rachel Zegler's comments to some of the images that got leaked from set, all this different stuff, right? To the point where they had Rachel Zegler go out there and start lying about the things she'd said in the past. I actually really love this. I really respect it. I love the original. It's one of my favorites ever. But it looks like the anger hasn't really subsided, Jeremy, because as we speak, here it is, Disney's Snow White teaser trailer in theaters March 21st, 345,000 dislikes to 59,000 likes. This is something that was like number 1, number 2 on trending for a while as well. It obviously got in front of a lot of people. At 5.7 million views, basically 1% of everyone that saw this actually liked it.
It works within the guidelines. It gives you a very good idea. I've matched these numbers up to my own channel. They're not 100% accurate. They're close in terms of like giving you very good idea of how ratioed these percentages are, though. Can you find negative comments? Have they shut the comments down?
Oh, they have left the comments up, in fact. Snow White trailer release ignites heated fan reactions, the one that will end it all. They go over some of them here. It was very brave of Disney not to disable comments. Let the fun begin. Snow White and the Seven Dwarves, 1937, the one that started it all. Snow White 2025, the one that will end it all. Disney is someone who grew up in the golden age of film. I want you to know there are books being written in the future right now using you in these films, a cautionary tale of what not to do to avoid a downfall of the company. This one, when the mirror said Snow White is more beautiful, I think people at cinemas will say the mirror is broken. Evil Queen, who's the fairest one of all? The mirror, you, the end. So, and that pretty much plays out in this comment section as well. If I was the prince, I would save Gal Gadot from Snow White. This is the bravery of keeping it open. See a lot of this. After watching the trailer, I'm rooting for the Evil Queen to win. Should we actually sit down and watch this, Jeremy? I think we need to.
Painfully, I guess, with the CGI fest.
It is. It's like live action, but the entire thing looks like a fucking AI fever dream.
Mm-hmm.
From the animals in the beginning to the dwarves, which we'll see. Here we go.
No life in this whatsoever.
Just wait.
So, whistle while you work. Whistle while you work. Magic mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest one of all?
God, this looks terrible. It looks so bad. So I'm trying to think about this for a minute. So there's been, I don't know, there's been a lot of live action Disney movies that have been kind of brought over from animation. Shockingly enough, and I haven't seen all of them, but if you go back before all the wokeness bullshit happened, the Cinderella movie was actually really freaking good. Didn't Kenneth Branagh direct that, if I'm not mistaken?
I'm not sure. There's been literally like a million Cinderella like adaptations, so I don't know which ones. I don't even remember which ones are like what you would call Disney's live action one that they did. You know?
Yeah, the Cinderella one was really freaking good, and I'm pretty sure Kenneth Branagh directed that one. I liked the Peach Dragon movie as well. The rest of them, I don't think I've cared for.
And a lot of them have been massive successes, right? The Aladdin movie is dog shit. Like, the Aladdin movie fucking sucks. and that thing made $1 billion. Beauty and the Beast made a fuck ton of money. The Lion King CGI shit made like $1.6 billion.
Which made me lose faith in humanity. I don't see this one turning the needle, but I don't know. It's hard to determine. I mean, Little Mermaid, what did the Little Mermaid make?
Less than $600 million worldwide. It lost money. Yeah.
Which is a decent, like, overall number, but it's a terrible number when you look at the budget and everything involved in it. Do we know what the budget is for this movie?
Well, the budget for The Little Mermaid was around $250 million, right? So that lost money at the box office. This one, it's going to be well over $300 million when it's all said and done. Because if you remember, a year and a half ago or whatever, we found out they'd already spent over $200 million on it, and that was while they were still shooting the film proper. This is before they did a bunch of reshoots. This is before a bunch of the visual effects, like all of that. So this thing, like, is going to be probably a $300 million budget movie.
So it's going to need...
The dwarves look like shit, by the way. Can we just talk
awful. They look awful.
How creepy they look?
Yeah, this is like what's that fucking movie? Polar Express level creepiness.
And you know who we have to blame for this, at least in part?
Who?
Peter Dinklage. Peter Dinklage rips Disney's Snow White remake, a fucking backward story about dwarves. This is back in 2022. And if you remember, he was like, why do dwarves always get cast in these roles? We're in the mines. We're doing this. We're just weirdos, blah, blah, blah. And Disney came out with this big statement. We understand some of the concerns. Just so you know, we've reimagined the role of the dwarves. They're going to be more as magical creatures, blah, blah, blah. And obviously, he got then slammed by a bunch of dwarf actors who are like, you're taking our jobs, because it's true. How many film roles possibly call for 7 dwarves? That's 7 jobs for dwarf actors right there. Peter Dinklage opens his damn mouth, and Disney's like, oh, don't worry, we don't want to offend anybody. And we end up with this monstrosity.
They deserve all the criticism they're getting, and it's going to get worse and worse. I'm wondering if they thought that people had forgotten. I'm wondering if they were like, yeah, enough time has passed. She's kind of shut the fuck up. Maybe people are going to forget about all the negativity surrounding this. No one forgot.
I think they had hoped that it would subside a little bit, and maybe it has. You know, maybe it has subsided a little bit. Yeah, but there's still just a lot of people that do remember it. However, this is D23. They kind of do have to let it out there. It is releasing early next year. Eventually, you have to show something, and it is not going over well for them.
No, not at all. I've just seen no one that actually likes this. No one's actually like, oh, this looks really good. I'm excited about it. No one is excited about this.
I've seen a handful of people, you know,
with pronouns in their
like
bio,
Disney
yeah,
fans or whatever. Yeah, exactly. I've seen a handful of people that are just like, oh my god, hearing this thing is just so glorious, blah blah blah. I like that they have Gal Gadot looking like the evil stepmother, like truly, you know, not the evil stepmother, like the fucking queen, right? Like the evil fucking queen. So I think Gal looks good. Rachel Zegler.
That's a bad angle for her. That's a bad angle for her right there. That is an awkward.
I've seen a lot of people. I do think that Gal Gadot is like one of the most stunningly beautiful women on earth. I've seen a lot of people being like, "Oh, Rachel Zegler's ugly," and I'm like, "Y'all need to fucking calm down."
She's not ugly.
Not ugly at all.
She's not ugly.
This was like 23 years old, so I feel kind of weird being like, she's smoking fucking hot.
Yeah.
But like the idea that she's ugly, no. But Gal Gadot is one of the most beautiful women in the world. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why she goes kind of fucking crazy about this, because she can't understand why everyone's saying Rachel Zegler's more attractive.